And then my friend F in Reality dropped a compilation video for me while I was in there. And usually my compilation videos do at least 100,000, and it did like 11,000, right? So I was like, okay, something's not right. So I get out, I drop another video, bombs, 14,000 views. So I'm shadow banned. So I've been trying to communicate with Google, get it sorted out, and they refuse to admit that their shadow banning is a thing, right? They don't like that term shadow banning because it implies that they are punishing their creators without letting them know, right?
Welcome to The Downfall. This is going to be the first episode of a new series on my channel. One of the things that I find very interesting about YouTube is, number one, how the algorithm works, but number two, how channels evolve and die, how trends evolve and die. I get very interested when it comes to analyzing data and analyzing trends. And one of the things that this niche has given me is a mountain of data to examine. Now, DMA was not going to be my first episode. I had someone completely different planned. But when I saw his live last night, I decided I was going to pivot because he brings up things in his live that are so very pertinent to this series. So let's go ahead and get into it. DMA made an announcement last night that he was going to abandon his channel with 200,000 subscribers because he believes himself to be shadow banned. First and foremost, though, thank you to all of my channel members and subscribers. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would most certainly appreciate it. It's because of people like you that we are almost 10,000 strong, and I could not be more grateful.
Hey guys, thanks for coming in. I had to make this live stream because this is my official announcement that I am abandoning the DMA channel. So DMA channel's a wrap. There'll be no more content. Oh, there'll still be some, but let me just explain. So let's just jump right into it, guys. People can come in later. So as a lot of you know, I'm shadow banned, right? Ever since that video that I put out, the Go Topless Day parade in Denver here, and I got a strike on my channel. And so they've been banning me. And the first video that I dropped was a city council meeting video. And those don't usually do that great anyways, but it only got 9,000 views. Which is terrible. I mean, even my city council meeting videos get at least 25,000. That's a bad one still, right? So I dropped that right before I went into jail, and I was like, that's kind of low. And then my friend F in Reality dropped a compilation video for me while I was in there. And usually my compilation videos do at least 100,000, and it did like 11,000, right? So I was like, okay, something's not right. So I get out, I drop another video, bombs, 14,000 views. So I'm shadow banned. So I've been trying to communicate with Google, get it sorted out, and they refuse to admit that their shadow banning is a thing, right? They don't like that term shadow banning because it implies that they are punishing their creators without letting them know, right? And so it's a algorithmic suppression, right?
So we're going to get into more about how the algorithm works here a little bit later in the video, but right now we're going to address what DMA is talking about, and that is shadow banning. So shadow banning, as DMA is thinking about it, doesn't really exist. It is mostly a myth. You know, the popular definition of shadow banning is that YouTube is maliciously and intentionally hiding your channel because you have done something wrong, so you're being punished, or they just don't like your content, whatever reason. I've heard a lot of different people talk about shadow banning, and for the most part, none of it is really true. So what is actually happening to DMA is when he got that community guidelines strike, he hasn't mentioned this yet, but prior to that, he got a community guidelines warning for a teaser video he put up about that same video. So what that is telling the YouTube algorithm, because you remember, this is a computer program. It has no feelings. It doesn't like or dislike DMA. It has no opinion about DMA's channel. It is strictly looking at the data, and the data is telling it this channel has 2 infractions for community guidelines within a very short period of time. So now that those infractions are in play, what is actually happening is risk assessment. So one of the biggest misconceptions people have about what they consider shadow banning and the YouTube algorithm is they think YouTube is intentionally punishing you or maliciously punishing you for breaking the rules. And it's just not that cut and dry. At the end of the day, YouTube is one giant money-making machine that does not give a shit about your content. It does not care about your channel. It cares about which videos are going to make more ad revenue. And that's it. So when you have infractions on your channel, it is exactly the same for copyright strikes. There is no difference between multiple copyright strikes and multiple community guidelines infractions. The algorithm treats them exactly the same. What happens is you become a higher risk channel. And when you are a higher risk channel, when YouTube goes to recommend content to people who have not watched your content before, or maybe a returning viewer and not a subscriber, you are less likely to get recommended than a channel who has no infractions. That's all there is to it. You just drop in priority, so your impressions are going to go down. It has absolutely nothing to do with YouTube pushing your content. That isn't how it works. Your impressions are going to go down because you are now a lower priority channel. They are going to promote the channels who are less risk and are going to generate more ad revenue without violations.
Right. And they're trying to tell me that, oh, it's because you had this one viral video and you had a lot of new views. And then after that video died out, then people didn't come back and watch your channel. And that's just totally not true. So I had a viral short that got like 10 million views. But my views on my long form videos have always been the same, right? I average about 50,000, right? Anything less than that's not really that good. Anything above that's good, right? So, and then you can even look on my shorts too. I've been dropping shorts and they're getting like 5,000 views. My shorts usually get at least 100,000 views, right? And they're doing like 5, 7, stuff like that. And I'll look on your analytics too. It's how you can tell if you're shadow banned. Is the analytics on shorts. People that swiped away, it's less than 20%, which is good. Those are the ones that go viral.
So a couple of different things. Your analytics and shorts are not going to tell you if a short is going to go viral. All that is going to tell you is how that short is performing with the audience that is actually seeing it. If your impressions are low, then it doesn't matter how your analytics look because you're not going to get the views. Now, the fact he is talking about this as an algorithmic suppression makes me think that he has a general misunderstanding on how the algorithm actually works. So the algorithm recommends content based on the people who are actually doing the clicking, the audience. YouTube has absolutely nothing to do with pushing out content. I've talked about this before. YouTube's algorithm pulls content in. So if I go onto my home screen and I click on a video about dogs, next time I refresh my home screen, I'm going to have a couple more recommendations of other channels that have dogs in. Now, if I click on another video and this time it's about dogs in pajamas, next time I refresh my screen, I'm going to see more videos about dogs, and then I'm going to see videos about pajamas. And then it's going to recommend content based on what other people who watch videos on dogs in pajamas are watching. So if another person that watches videos about dogs in pajamas watches a video about cats in pajamas, I might get recommended a video about cats in pajamas. That is how the algorithm works. But what a lot of this tells us is the interest in this kind of content is dying. We are seeing this across the board with so many of these channels. Now, the reason I bring this up now is because as it relates to DMA's channel is following a similar path that we see with a lot of these channels. So during my research, I started a spreadsheet and I marked out everyone's top viewed video. Obviously, top video for the niche is Long Island Audit at 3.5 million views. No one else even comes close. But the interesting thing about it is all of these top viewed videos are at least a year, most of them 2 years old. The time that the interest in this content was highest was right around 2 years ago. And that tracks if you look at DMA's channel. So DMA, his top viewed video is 551,000 views, and it was 2 years ago. He has not come close to it since. In 2024, his top viewed video has less than half of that at 222,000 views. And that was 9 months ago. Now, this isn't about DMA specifically, but it is relevant to what is happening to him right now. One of the things that you are seeing is a dwindling interest and a dwindling audience for this kind of content. And one of the biggest reasons is because it is so repetitive. Now, I'm saying this as a YouTube watcher and not as someone who reviews these channels, but video after video, channel after channel, creator after creator, they say exactly the same things over and over and over and over again. There is a limit to how many times anyone is going to watch someone go to a post office. There is a limit to how many times anyone is going to watch someone try and go to the Social Security office. It's repetitive and it is mind-numbingly boring because most of these guys have the personality of a wet sock. There are a few exceptions, and those few exceptions are the ones you can see that their channels are still relatively healthy. They're not getting the views they were a couple of years ago, but the channels maintain a pretty steady average, whether you like that personality or not. Long Island Audit is an example of that. Whether you love him or hate him, he stands out, and very few of these guys stand out.
And the average percentage viewed is up. So you have like an arrow pointing up or like a check mark, which means right where it usually is. And then a down arrow means that people aren't watching it. So my average percentage viewed is up on all of these shorts, right? But yet my views are like 5,000, right? So it's clear as day to me. So what I'm doing is I don't have time to just wait to see if they fix it. Maybe they don't, maybe I'm banned forever. So I'm abandoning it. I'm going to the DMA 2.0 channel. It's my backup channel. And some of you guys know about it. A lot of people don't. So I have about 10,000 subscribers, but I got a lot of those from shorts. So any new content is going to be uploaded on that channel. And I have a bunch of new content. I have videos that are ready to go and I have a bunch to edit still. Everything's going on there. So as far as now, there is going to be some stuff on the main channel still. I have my social media manager who's been dropping these little like 8 to 10 minute compilation videos, right? If some of you might have seen those. And the reason for that is because I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a certain amount of videos, right? Like maybe it's like 15 videos. And then after I drop that, then they'll unban me. So after he's done that, he's still got 8 more to go. If for whatever reason, sometime during that time period, it picks back up, then I'll go back. But for now, I need to start building that other channel right away and not focus on this channel because it's just not working out. And then there's one other way that I might stay on the main channel, and that's because my strike expires on January 5th. So that'll be 3 months. So after that, if it picks up, maybe.
You can see he really has an incorrect assumption on how all of this works. There are no amount of videos that are going to get him unbanned because he's not banned in the first place. That is just not a thing. He is still getting pushed to his subscribers. He is still getting views. He is still showing up on people's homepages. The only difference is his impressions are lower because his channel is higher risk and less advertiser friendly right now. That is all there is to it. When that strike goes away, he goes back to being on an even playing field with other creators who don't have that infraction. Because what's happening right now is when someone clicks a video and they need a new recommended video, YouTube is going to say they have to choose between DMA and another creator. They're going to choose that other creator to pull to that person's homepage for recommended because that other creator is less of a risk. It is just lower impressions because of risk factor. Now, that's going to go away. But what isn't going to go away are the underlying causes for the lower viewership in general. The other big reason this entire niche is so closed off is there is absolutely no appeal to the average YouTube viewer. People watch YouTube in one of two ways. You watch for the creator or you watch for the content. Now, we've already established the content is very repetitive. So unless they're watching for the creator, you're not going to get a lot of new viewers based on the content because everyone has seen it before. Now, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. He says he's going to abandon the DMA channel. I don't think he actually is. I think what's going to happen is that strike is going to expire and his impressions are going to go back up if he starts posting regularly. I don't think this is as big of a deal as a lot of people are making it out to be. It really isn't. He's not banned. He's just got lower impressions right now. That being said, throughout 2024, every single one of these large channels has seen a decrease in viewership, mostly for the reasons that we talk about on this channel. People are tired of seeing private businesses get harassed and doxxed. You've got idiots like Kootenai County Press shooting people. You've got morons like Impact Media beating up on the elderly. You've got the repetitive content. you've got the boring creators. You've got the disproportionately high amount of creators in this niche that have been charged with some kind of child predator crime. Those underlying causes are not going to go away, and they are not going to fix themselves. And we're going to see this decrease continue into 2025. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see, and I will catch you on the next one.